Ain't nobody messing with my queens, listen up. You ain't gotta love me, cause I love me. Put a hand up if you in the trenches building confidence, and put a hand up if you need some mending for your heart that's healing. Salute, say you in attendance, this army's relentless. A weekly dose of motivation, give me your attention. This is for all the queens going heal by any means. They chasing our self-esteem, it's not as hard as it seems. Go, go, go queen, go. Ain't nobody messing with my queens, listen up.
Welcome to the All Queens Army podcast. It's your girl, your host, Coach Breezy. I am here today with another dope episode for the queens. Yes, honey, I'm super duper excited for another Motivational Monday because, as you all know, it is absolutely my favorite day of the week because this is the day that I get to be in my queen's ears because you know you are in my heart. Yes, baby. We have a good topic today. I can't wait to get into it. We're going to be talking about how to stop feeling lonely or alone. I think it is so absolutely super duper powerful for us to learn how to overcome feelings of loneliness or just having that thought pattern that you're always alone. So we're going to hop into it in just a second. Really quick, guys. I have some quick announcements for you guys. There are life coaching packages out on the website. If you've been perusing the website, you will see that you are able to work with me to coach you on something specific that you need help with in your life. This is something new that I've just started offering, so you can check that out. And we also have the ebook that is available on the website as well. Oh yeah, baby. I know y'all like, golly, Breezy, all this stuff. Yes, boo, all this stuff. I told you guys I was going to bust my ass creating a ton of content to help you queens, and I did just that. Okay, pat myself on the back because I did just that. Okay, anyway, y'all, the ebook titled How to Create Boundaries and Stand Up for Yourself is also a free resource that is available on the website, so you can go there and download it. It will provide you with step-by-step instructions on how to create boundaries, more importantly, how to enforce those boundaries, and how to stand up for yourself. So last but not least, queens, make sure you subscribe to the All Queens Army podcast. There is a new subscribe page on the website, and we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Audible's app, Google Podcasts, and Facebook. Okay, so let's jump right into today's topic. We're going to be talking about how to stop feeling lonely or alone. So here's the thing. I want to talk about this because the feeling of isolation or feeling like you've been or are always getting rejected can wear you down, child. Yes, it can wear you down, y'all, and it'll start to weaken your self-esteem and your self-worth. So that's why I want to talk about this. You queens know that I like to choose topics that are going to help you get over something that could be going on in your life or things that I'm hearing from you queens about. And ever since we've been in this pandemic, feelings of loneliness have increased substantially. So I wanted to make sure that we had a moment to address this season and talk about how to stop feeling lonely no matter what your situation is. It's not just about how to stop feeling lonely if you're single or how to stop feeling lonely if your children moved out. It's just all around loneliness. It doesn't matter because I have heard women who are in relationships or women who are married. I know a woman who has been married for 22 years and she literally said that she feels alone. Like she feels like she's by herself. So this is not isolated to just a single person or a person who's just alone, like literally. This applies to anyone who is alone literally and physically, but also for people who maybe not even physically or literally alone. Maybe you live with people, your family, like I said, a husband or a wife or any spouse. If you feel alone or lonely, period, no matter what your situation is, that's what we're going to go over today. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to start feeling more content and satisfied with whatever the state of your life is. Things that you can actually do to break out of the mindset of loneliness and also to resolve feeling like you're alone or lonely. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So one of the things that I did right around the time of the beginning of the pandemic, when we all first got quarantined, I started observing more people, more comments about people being alone. And I'm going to say it was split 50-50. You have some people who are total introverts who love this new way of living that we had migrated into. into, where we have so much alone time, where we're home all the time and all of that good stuff. Some people make comments and say things like they love it. This is their cup of tea. This is their comfort zone. They feel amazing. And then you have the closet quiet people who aren't really saying much of anything, but who make like little passive comments or say little passive things about the fact that this whole pandemic and having to quarantine has actually created or multiplied feelings of loneliness and being alone. So I got so curious about it. I started reading up on it a couple months ago, and I found some content about a neuroscientist named John Cacioppo. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. His last name is spelled Cacioppo. Now, he was a career researcher of loneliness, okay? And here's what I found very interesting. He defined loneliness as, and I quote, a perceived social isolation or the discrepancy between what you want from your social relationships and your perception of those relationships. So I found that definition of loneliness to be very, very interesting because it specifically used the two words perceived and perception. And the reason that this definition is the one that stuck out to me is because perception is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's the perceptions that we have. It's the thoughts that we have. It's the things that we believe. It's what we choose to allow our brain and our mind to chew on and fester over and overthink and analyze. Whatever it is that we choose to focus on, whatever emotion or thought we choose to focus on, whatever we believe about ourselves, whatever we believe is facts about our lives, whatever we believe we feel, whatever we believe other people feel about us, however we think people are treating us is exactly what we're going to experience. So your perception, the way you see things, the filter of which you choose to put on to see life is how everything is going to look. It doesn't necessarily always mean that that's actually what's happening. It means that to you that that's what's happening because that's your perception and it's your experience. So some of the things that I've heard people say when they describe feeling lonely are things like they feel distant from their friends, or they're single, or they just don't feel like they fit in with anyone. They don't feel like anyone loves them or anyone is interested in them. They're not important to anyone. There's no one that specifically enjoys just spending time with them. They don't feel like they have any companionship with anyone. Those are some of the things that I hear from people who say that they're lonely or that they feel alone. So the reason that I wanted to explain and go a little bit into the definition that the neuroscientist gave of loneliness is because I really wanted to call out and hope with all of my heart and soul that you guys are open to the possibility that your feeling of loneliness is a perception that you have. And once you have that perception, it starts to turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Remember, what you focus on, how you choose to feel, how you perceive what's going on in your life will always be exactly what it is that you'll continue to see, that you'll continue to feel, and that you'll continue to experience. So that's why I wanted to share that quoted definition, because I'm truly hoping that you guys can learn how to grasp the fact that perceptions that you have that hold you back, that hurt your feelings, that make you feel less than, things like the loneliness and the being alone, because these types of feelings are things that are detrimental to your self-esteem and your self-worth. And those are things that we absolutely want to work on and that we try to overcome here in the All Queens Army. I want you guys to know that those feelings and those things that you're experiencing 99% of the time are based on your perception. Your perception is how you choose to feel. Whether you realize that you're doing it or not, you may think, oh no, I'm not choosing to feel this way. It's how I feel. It's a fact. It's how people treat me. It's your perception that that's what's going on. It's the way you choose to see it. And I want you queens to truly, truly understand that, because once you understand that and you accept that as a possibility, you then have the power to change your perception. Once you change your perception, once you change how you look at it, once you change how you see it, then you can change how you feel about it. And then you change your emotions. See, it's literally a domino effect. You change how you see it. You change your perspective. You have to change your mind. You have to decide that you no longer want to feel this way. So if you don't want to feel that way, if you don't like those feelings, you don't like the way it feels to feel like you're lonely, or to think about being lonely, or to think that you're distant from your friends, or you're distant from your family, or you're distant from people that you love, or that you hate being single when you're by yourself and you're so busy looking at other couples and they look so happy and oh my goodness, they have on the matching PJs and they have the Christmas pictures and look at all of these happy people and here I am by myself. If that's the way that you choose to perceive your life, you're choosing to feed the emotion of loneliness or being alone. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to drill it in your head said that it is a perception. I'm not saying that a perception means it's not true. I'm saying a perception is the way you choose to see it, the way you choose to process it, the way that you choose to believe things that are happening in your life. So let me explain to you why it's important to learn how to overcome feelings of loneliness and instead replace those feelings with feelings of contentment. So here's a couple things. Festering in feelings of loneliness can bring about depression. It can also cause you to eat excessively, binge eating or binge drinking. It can cause you to be vulnerable to your inner critic. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Feeling like you're isolated and alone and then staying back and staying alone and staying by yourself. All it does is perpetuates your mind to continue to drum up more and more and more and more critiques of yourself and critiques of your life and what you didn't do and what you need to do better and what you're not good at and you're this and you're that, and these are not positive thoughts and these are not positive conversations with yourself. So you have to be very careful of making yourself vulnerable to your inner critic. We all have an inner critic. We are our own worst critics, and when you start to slide into that loneliness place where you're a little more isolated every single day, it is a dangerous place to be in. Again, it can bring about depression. It can cause you to start binge eating or binge drinking. You wind up being vulnerable. And here's another big consequence of festering in feelings of loneliness and feeling alone, okay? It triggers feelings of being unloved, unlovable, or unlikable. It starts to trigger those feelings. So listen, there is nothing positive that can happen from you guys continuing to allow yourselves to wallow in feelings of loneliness and feelings of being alone. There's no good things that can come out of this. So again, I'm circling back to that whole perceived and perception word. I'm driving that in. I'm drilling it down. I really want you queens to understand the importance of the fact that you feeling lonely and feeling alone is a perception. I really want you guys to at least try to be open to that as a possibility, that you feeling alone and your feelings of loneliness are a perceived thing and you can change that perception. I'm literally like almost on my knees begging you guys to please be open to that as a possibility. All right, so how do we stop feeling lonely and alone? So we're going to do this in two parts. The first part is going to be foundational, things that you can do and work on within yourself, deep down inside. Y'all already know where I'm going to be going with this, okay? There's certain things inside of you that you have to work on. These feelings are your perception. So remember, you have to work on yourself. You have to work on yourself internally so that you can change the way you're seeing what's going on in your life. The second group is going to be things that you can do on the outside. All right. So we're going to start with foundational because you all know that to me, that is the most important thing. So the first thing is stop comparing yourself and your perception of other people's lives with your life. Just stop comparing. Comparing is the number one problem as to why people feel lonely. And let me tell you something, social media has not made it easier because people are curating content and they're sharing pictures of their fun, of the highlights of their life, of the beautiful parts of their life, smiling and hugging with their kids and their family and their husbands. Like I said, Christmas pictures and PJs and matching outfits and all kinds of stuff. People out on vacay, loved up, booed up or whatever. Kids doing the best. Oh, my kid loved me. My son loved me. My daughter bought me a car. My daughter bought me a car. My son took me to get my nails done. Yeah. The internet and social media is highlighting snippets of people's lives, the good snippets of people's lives like crack cocaine. It's literally an addiction. Now, I'm going to be clear. I do it too. I told y'all, listen, I do not act like I don't do it. Yes, I do. I also share those happy snippets of life, okay? I ain't fitting to be sharing my personal business when me and my husband is beefing or my son getting on my damn nerves, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to air our dirty laundry for the whole world. Now, we do have some dirty laundry, honey. We got a couple baskets. I mean, who doesn't? Everybody has issues in their lives. Everybody has things that they're working on. No one's life is 100% perfect, but you wouldn't be able to tell if you scrolled up social media all day, every day, because everybody's life looks perfect. Everybody's. So that's why it's important that you stop comparing the way you see your life today with your perception of someone else's life. It is not healthy. You have to stop doing that to yourself. If you feel like you find it difficult, then baby, you might need to take some time away from social media, okay? Purge yourself. It's not healthy to do that. Here's the second foundational thing. Reclaim or find your sense of purpose. A lot of times feelings of loneliness are coming from the fact that there is nothing that you feel that you're doing purposeful or that fulfills you, that gives you passion and drive to wake up every day and work on it every single day. A lot of times people who feel lonely wind up finding themselves in this humdrum life where you just wake up and do the same thing over and over again, and you really aren't doing anything of value. People who have a purpose, a passion, or an agenda, a goal, or something like that they're working on, promise you, they're not going to fester in loneliness. I'm not saying they may not have moments of feeling lonely. Everybody's going to have moments of feeling lonely. And let me address that real quick. Let me sidebar real quick. This episode is not about people who have moments of loneliness. We're not talking about passing, fluttering moments of loneliness. That is normal. It's going to happen. Sometimes I might feel lonely when my husband is on the road because he's a truck driver. So sometimes my husband might go on the road for 2 or 3 days, and I might have one of those days where I feel a little lonely. You know, my son is in his room all day and I'm sitting chilling by myself. See, those things are normal. What I'm talking about are people who are swimming in loneliness, meaning every day that they wake up, they feel sad and or depressed because in general, life for them feels lonely. That's what I'm talking about. I should have clarified that in the beginning of the episode, but I wanted to clear that up really quickly. Okay. So again, number 2 of the foundational things that you can do to stop feeling lonely and alone is reclaiming or finding your sense of purpose. So there's actually a blog article on the website that I wrote months ago that is going into how to find your purpose and start living in it. So if you need some help with this particular tip, you can actually go and read that blog and it'll help you understand how to go out there and find your purpose. But it's really important that you have something that you are focused on, something that you're doing that gives you fulfillment. All right, here's another thing. Change and recalibrate your way of thinking. Remember, I just said that your feelings of loneliness and the fact that you look out into your life and you feel like you are isolated, like you're rejected, like you're alone, like you don't fit in, like you just don't have anybody to enjoy life with, or whatever it is that's causing you to feel lonely, those are your perceptions about the state of your life. So you want to recalibrate and change the way you think. Instead of looking out into your life and feeling rejected and feeling lonely and feeling like nobody cares and feeling like you're distant and detached from everyone, change that thought process. Stop thinking that way. Stop allowing your brain to think those things. One of the things that you can do to kind of recalibrate what you think so that you can change your mind from thinking all of the negative things and constantly swimming in all of the negative comments and all of the negative thoughts and negative things that are going on is to read daily affirmations. You can go on the All Queens Army website to the private page of Life Hacks and you can download it for free. The reason that affirmations work to help you recalibrate your mind is because if you repeat positive things about yourself every single day, through repetition, you will start to change your mind. Remember, your brain, your body, your soul, your spirit believes everything about itself that you tell it. Whatever you tell yourself is going to believe. So if you start telling yourself that you have positive feelings, that you feel powerful, that you feel social, that you feel strong, that you feel confident, imagine saying these things out loud to yourself every single day. Instead of sitting there and allowing your brain to keep conjuring up more and more and more shortcomings, flaws, issues, critiquing you constantly. Imagine taking your power back and intentionally setting aside 10 minutes out of every morning to read aloud to yourself some positive, powerful shit. I'm telling y'all, listen, y'all be underestimating some of the stuff, man. Go on the website and download those affirmations. I'm telling you, they are so freaking helpful, all right? That is a way that you can start to recalibrate your mind. Now, here's the last foundational tip for how to stop feeling lonely, and that is to identify your cause of loneliness. You have to really write down and figure out, why is it that you feel lonely? What's causing it? Is it because you're single? Is it because your kids have moved out? Like they're grown now, they have their own lives, they ain't focused on you no more, child. Is it because you're empty nesting? You know, maybe your kids went to college or your child went to college. Is it because you lived with your parents and now, unfortunately, they've passed away? What is it? What's causing you to feel lonely? Is it because you and your friends fell out and you don't have anybody to talk to anymore? You don't have any friends? Is it because at work your coworkers just don't rock with you? They all clicked up or whatever and you don't seem to fit in with the clique? What is it? Identify what's causing the loneliness. The only way for you to overcome something is to identify what it is and acknowledge that it exists. And then, of course, you have to acknowledge the fact that you have the power to change it, because you do. So those are 4 foundational things. Let me go through a really quick list of some things that you can do that are a little bit more surface level things that you can do to overcome your feelings of loneliness and replace them with feelings of contentment. Okay, so I'm going to go through this list really quick. The first thing is make an attempt to connect connect with and spend time with like a friend, a coworker, a family member, somebody whose company you think you may enjoy. Make an effort. Maybe invite the person out. Ask them to go out and have a drink with you. Invite them to go have a coffee with you or something like that. Go sit and grab some appetizers. Go see a movie. Just invite someone that you love or someone that you feel like you would enjoy their company and extend the invitation, okay? Here's another thing. Get out of the damn house. It's so many people who say, oh, I'm so lonely. Oh, nobody wants to be around me. Oh, nobody cares about me. But sometimes, I'm telling you, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because I know a lot of people, even in my personal life, some of them is goddamn family. And they swear up and down, nobody care about me. Nobody want to hang out for my birthday. Nobody prioritizes me. And that's how they think. And it's not even true because we make attempts to hang out for birthdays and we make attempts to spend time with them. And when we do, they act like, oh, well, y'all don't really want to do it. It's like, girl, dude, oh my gosh. So keep in mind that that's the type of energy that you give off. When you think you're being rejected all the time, guess what you do? You reject other people all the time. When you think that no one cares to hang out with you, guess what you do? You give off an energy like you don't care to hang out with other people. Again, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why I want you guys to understand it's a perception. And when you perceive your life in that way, when you perceive that your coworkers don't like you, don't rock with you, don't want to hang out with you, guess what? You give off that same energy. So if they do try, they feel a wall. Remember, guys, I told you life is a boomerang. What you give it is what it gives you back. So if you feel lonely, if you feel like nobody rock with you, if you feel like nobody want to hang with you, if you feel like nobody prioritizes you, it's because you're giving off an energy that is pushing and repelling people away. I promise. Now, I'm not saying that you're not really being rejected. What I'm saying is that your energy also contributes to the rejection. Bop! Gotta bop y'all upside the head sometime because I can already see y'all mouths all turned up, okay? See, y'all done made me get off track and all that. All right, so back to the list. Like I said, get out of the house, y'all. Get out the house. Open the door. Get some fresh air. Go for a walk. Take yourself out on a date. Go to the movies. Go by yourself if you have to. Go sit in a restaurant and eat by yourself if you have to. Let me tell y'all something. Remember when I was telling y'all I was going through a super dark time and I kept having a hard time with relationships and I was getting so frustrated with relationships? One of the things that I started doing was taking myself out on a date. And the very first time I did it, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it was awkward as fuck because I did not know how to spend time with myself. I really didn't, y'all. That's a problem. I did not enjoy time with myself. I always wanted to be with somebody, so it was so awkward. I felt like everybody was looking at me. I felt socially awkward. Like people were sitting back thinking like, damn, she can't even get a date. She don't have no friends. She by herself. That's what I thought. Now, let's be clear. Them people ain't know me and they probably wasn't thinking a damn thing. It was all in my mind. It was all my perception because that's how I thought about seeing people out to eat by themselves. So naturally, because that's the way I think, remember, it's the filters that you have. That was my filter. That's the way I thought about being out to eat by yourself. So naturally, if I'm out to eat by myself, I'm thinking other people thinking the same thing. And they not. They ain't even worried about me. So I started going out to eat by myself. Shit, sometimes if my husband pissed me off and he agitate me and I just want to get out the house and get some air, I'll go sit at the bar by myself and have a drink. Now I love it. When you go out by yourself, you actually start talking to other people. It's how you make other friends. It's how you make new connections. It's how you get to network because you're alone. You don't have a friend to fall back in your comfort zone and not talk to other people. You don't have anybody to distract you and help you stay in your comfort zone. You're more open to talking to other people and to getting to know other people. I'm telling y'all, that's a little bit of a life hack, but I'm telling you, try going on a solo date. Go out by yourself. Go sit and have a coffee by yourself. All right. Go sit at a restaurant, go to the bar and sit by yourself with the TVs and have a drink and get an appetizer. I promise you, other people will start filling in around the bar and you might start talking to people and have a good time. I have done it multiple times. Here's another thing. Find a meetup group or find some like-minded people. Find groups of people who like to do the things that you like to do or have an interest in something that you have an interest in and connect with people on like-minded things. Attend events, y'all. Start accepting invitations when people invite you out. Here's another one. Take a wine tour. Join a class. Learn how to dance. Just get out and engage yourself in doing something that's productive but fun. I'm telling you, queens, you actually have to take action. You have to do something to overcome your own feelings. You can't just sit around being lonely and expect everyone to come and pull you out of your loneliness. You have to participate in your rescue, okay? Here's my very favorite tip. Adopt a pet. I'm telling y'all, it's something about having a nice little dog. Dogs are such a great company. Some of y'all may say cats if y'all like cats or birds, rabbits, turtles, fish, all of that kind of stuff. Any of it is fine, whatever you like. I'm personally a dog person, and I actually got my dog for companionship because it was at one of my lonely times in life, and I still have her today. My dog is 12 years old. I've had her since she was 8 weeks, and I love her like family. Y'all can meet her if y'all follow me on Instagram, okay? Another thing, start journaling. Y'all should have known I was going to say journaling, honey. You just know journaling is going to come up. Journaling is so satisfying. It's so rewarding for so many reasons. If you don't know why you want to know more, there's another podcast episode talking about journaling, so you can check that out. Here's another tip. Maybe volunteer at a place or for a cause that matters to you. Volunteer your time. Again, get out there and do something. Another thing, take a weekend getaway. Now, I don't know what you guys are into. I'm personally into the water. It doesn't matter where I go, what I do. You're always going to see me next to a body of water. I don't give a damn if it's a puddle. I love water. The ocean, the lake, the abyss, all of that shit. I love water. So every time I'm doing something that I enjoy, I'm going to be by a body of water. So find what you love. Find what you like. Take a weekend getaway and go somewhere that makes you feel at peace. Go somewhere that makes you feel happy, okay? Here's another one of my favorites. Read. I'm telling y'all, I think y'all be underestimating some of this stuff. Baby, reading is not just fundamental. Reading is litty and it's addictive. All right. So even if you do start reading, you got to be careful not to get addicted to it, because sometimes I can get into a book and then have a whole unproductive day. Okay. Now, for me personally, mostly what I read are self-help books and books about the law of attraction, other universal laws and things like that. Most of that is to feed my desire to continue to learn more about life and my personal journey. And then, as you all know, when my cup is full of all of that knowledge, I come right back to the All Queens Army and I regurgitate it and I share it with you guys, okay? So that's about 80% of my love of reading is reading content like that. The other 20% of my love of reading is more drama type of books or whatever. I love finding Black authors on the Amazon Audible app and reading on my phone. I do that a lot if I'm on vacation, sitting on the beach, reading one of my drama books, you know, drinking my Malibu and pineapple chai, okay? So that's another thing you can do. And here's the last tip I want to share with you guys, okay? Start a project. Start doing something that you enjoy. It could be a project in your house, for example, remodeling or redecorating your bedroom, or redecorating or remodeling your kitchen, or redecorating your living area, or cleaning up a certain area and reorganizing it and tidying it up. Deciding that you want to redo your garden or your porch or your balcony or something like that. I'm telling you, when you guys just put some concerted effort and focus on something productive that you enjoy, it really does subside your feelings of loneliness, okay? Now, let's not forget, the most important steps are the first 4 that I gave you under foundational, because you have to work on your inside. You have to work on your perception. You have to work on your way of thinking, okay? Okay, Queens. So I hope that was helpful info for you guys. I do hope that today I bopped y'all upside the head one good time. I do. I just do. Most of the time I don't be wanting to bop y'all, but sometimes I be wanting to bop y'all. And, you know, I be having something good to say and I be like, let me bop them upside the head real quick. Okay, anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode as always, and I can never forget to say thank you, Queens, from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my soul. I really love y'all. I really appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for continuing to listen and continuing to support the All Queens Army platform and the podcast. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at All Queens Army. Also, please make sure you share the All Queens Army podcast or the YouTube channel or any of the other content that we have with any other queens who you think we can assist or could use the motivation that we provide every single day. Okay. Thank you so much, Queens. I love y'all so much. I can't wait to talk to you guys next Monday. Have another fire topic for y'all. And with that being said, that is the end of today's episode, and I will talk to you next week. I love you guys so much. Bye.